Welcome to HPC News Bytes, a weekly show about important news in the world of supercomputing, AI, and other advanced technologies.
Hey everyone, welcome to HPC News Bytes. I'm Doug Black. Hi Shaheen. Let's get into it. NVIDIA announced a new effort to accelerate large language model inferencing. They're working with about a half dozen AI companies, and they're integrating a deep learning compiler, optimized kernels, and multi-GPU, multi-node communications into what they're calling NVIDIA TensorRT-LLM software.
The NVIDIA developer site is really high level, almost no technical details. So to me, this seems to be about better utilization, which is a historical issue with GPUs, which started out as single user, single task turbochargers. On the system side, about 3 years ago, NVIDIA introduced partitioning into 7 instances with their multi-instant GPU MIG make feature. This one seems to be on the application side, batching multiple tasks into a bigger chunk and pushing the bigger batch through the GPU. Going from GPUs to quantum systems are good at generating high-quality random numbers, which can be used for high-quality encryption keys. The news is Honeywell is integrating quantum-hardened encryption keys into smart utility meters. This is based on Quantinuum's key distribution service called Quantum Origin.
Yeah, this is interesting, I think, in at least 2 ways. One, it points to the growing adoption of quantum-related technologies. Quantum is moving it from theoretical computer science over into real-world use. The other point is that Quantinuum, whose quantum technology Honeywell is using in this instance, is the result of a merger 2 years ago between Cambridge Quantum and Honeywell. So there's probably legacy synergies at work here. Now, TSMC has entered the silicon photonics arena using their advanced chip stacking and packaging technologies for which they're renowned. This is a sector already occupied by the big chip companies and many startups. So Shaheen, with so many efforts already underway, I doubt TSMC would join the fray unless they think they can crack the silicon photonics commercialization code.
Photonics in general is an area of significant advances right now. For computing, it's not ready yet, but for communication, it has been vibrant. We have seen interesting announcements from startups and big companies, including a very promising demo by Intel a few months ago, showing it actually in action. We've also discussed it with our guests, and I want to especially highlight the excellent conversation we had with Professor Karen Bergman of Columbia University. That's episode 54 in April, a very popular episode. Go look it up. Next up, 2 items that illustrate the challenges of wrong answers by AI and indemnification. Given that the quality of AI is probabilistic now and dependent on how it was trained, and lack of clarity about who is responsible if there is a lawsuit. First is a study by Brigham and Women's Hospital saying patients should be careful turning to AI for clinical advice. And the second is Microsoft saying that it will take responsibility if commercial users of its Copilot AI get sued. That's a big deal, even with all the fine print and caveats that might be there.
Yeah, it's a big step by Microsoft. They say they'll defend customers and pay judgments as long as the products, guardrails, and content filters were used. Microsoft must have good confidence in its anti-copyright capabilities, and we wonder how the guardrails and content filters impact the performance of Copilot AI. Interesting thought. So the issue of legal liability came up at last week's HPC User Forum hosted by Hyperion Research, which I attended in Tucson. Along this line, a session by a law professor at Arizona State University focused on legal implications of LLM-based AIs, including who is liable for an AI system making its own decisions, if those are actionable decisions, and whether anybody can actually be sued for that. There's more coverage of this event on Inside HPC, by the way. All right, that's it for this episode. Thanks so much.
HPC News Bytes is a production of Orion X in association with Inside HPC. Shaheen Khan and Doug Black host the show. Every episode is featured on InsideHPC.com and posted on OrionX.net. Thank you for listening.